It looks like we just received our update as far as some Nebula news finally after what? It's been late February since they last posted, and it looks like we have some kind of news as far as the game. So I'm gonna read you guys the post out loud. I made my way to the Nexus just to go to a public space to make sure everything is working. So I didn't have any problems loading in. It seems everything is a little bit, well, the game's playable now because some people, you guys should be able to log in and get into the server. Looks like they're changing spaces or headed to the wardrobe. But I'm going to read you guys the post and let's discuss this real quick. So they said, "Hi there. Apologies for the lack of news. We are working very hard to deliver a PC version of Nebula Realms this summer slash autumn." So that's the supposed release time. But knowing these guys, we don't know if that's going to be able to follow through. And we don't know if that's going to be guaranteed. See, because notice, read this, read it to yourself again and just listen to this. Nebula this summer slash autumn. So it might come out around the summer or it might come out by the fall or maybe around the fall or maybe in the middle of it. We don't know what's going to really happen with this game. Now, as far as the PC version, they did answer one question. They didn't answer any other questions as far as the comments, but someone asked about any possibility of a Mac support. So no Mac support. So let's check this out. They said, "Hi, not at the moment, sorry." So that's all they really said. They didn't answer any other comments or anything else. So I'm just gonna run around a little bit in the Nexus for this video today, just to really see how it runs. But I'm just gonna keep on moving because if I stop, then I know I'm gonna slide a little bit. So I end up see what's going on over here because this is the hangout spot now. It used to be over there by the statue where the bowling alley is, where the stairs were. But I have some questions. It's like after all this time, we're not gonna get any sort of information as far as the remake or anything like that. Of course, I'm not gonna stay in this area. But you can see people on. This is the most active place that you can go to. But after all this time, we're not going to get any sort of information about the remake. Oh, he's over here. He's up in the corner. But it's it's been this long. No information about the remake. We don't know what's going on with it. So putting the pieces together, I'm going to assume that from the time that we've been waiting for them to come out with some remake information and finding out what's been going on, trying to figure out what's going on, and waiting to hear from these guys, they must have been working on the PC version. Now, I'm going to bring up a post. I wanted to get to the post first before I started this video today. And what's confusing, my question is that maybe they were working on both. Maybe they did a little bit of remake of the remake, and then they probably started to work on the PC version of the game. Now, an original post I'm going to bring up to you guys is from February 3rd from 2020. So this one brings out a question for me. And they answered, they had an explanation, a little explanation of what's to come for the PC version. So they said, what happens now with the PC version? And then they said we are developing the PC version at the same time as the PS4 version, which is the remake. Our idea is to release both versions at the same time. You see what I'm getting at? So that's my question as far as the game goes. I don't know what's gonna happen. So I think the PC version is gonna be the oh, he's talking about It Takes Two. That's a good game. But it seems like they're probably trying to take on too much. They should do one at a time. But I think if anything, the PC version is probably going to be the one thing that's going to get released, and we're probably going to have to wait a little bit longer for the remake to come out. So I'm going to say the PC version is going to come out. Here's my little quick prediction. The PC version is going to come out sometime in the summer, or maybe close to the end of summer, and then we're probably going to get the remake this fall as a guess. And something else I want to say: stop coming out with all these updates that's seasonal. Leave this game alone. And they already said they're not fixing this game. They already said it in the same post. If you go a little bit further back, they said they're not even going to fix this version of the game because they're obviously working on a remake. because they were going to trash this game, this version of the game, scrap it, and we're going to have a brand new remake of the game to play. And that was back in January 29th. January 29th from last year, they said this game is going to be scrapped and it's not going to really get any sort of fixes. But did they not come out with any bug fixes recently for the most recent update that they didn't even tell us about that was available? They just slipped in bug fixes for this version of the game that we have that they said they're not going to fix. You see what I'm getting at? So it just leaves so much questions and confusion. So I'm just going to go ahead and just assume that we're going to get the PC version first. But it's a little bit concerning. I hate to say this, but it's a little bit concerning that with the problems of this version of the game that creates upon itself, within itself, the longer it just remains, it breaks on its own. It creates more glitches on its own, even without getting updates. So it just makes me just curious about what's going to happen to the PC version. How well is that going to run? Are you guys going to have the same problems as us? Who's going to be interested in playing this game on their PC? And then the fact that it's not going to have any Mac support, you're going to have to change. You have to upgrade if you want to play this game, and you have a Mac. You're not going to be able to play this game. You're going to have to upgrade your PC just to play one game. But there's so many other games that's coming out that you'll be able to play until then. But as far as the remake, I've just been playing other games. It's a lot of games that's coming out. We're getting close to May now, and the summer is already stacked with all types of different titles. So I'm cool with them waiting and prolonging the remake if they have to, because I don't even get on this game that much now. With nothing to do on here, I'm not going to be coming on here standing around at the dance floor. I'm going to be on other games and getting into different series, and there's so many other games to play. And if you have PlayStation Plus, you can get into some games that you've never heard of and just try something different. But that's all the news we're going to get. So the PC release is expected to be around summer or fall, according to them. But we don't know if that's going to really follow through with the potential possibility of delays. So it's lagging a little bit. But I just wanted to update you guys. So that's everything all we know. There's no remake news. I hope they give us some kind of status update about the remake. I wish I knew. And I wish I could tell y'all what's going on as far as the remake. But there's nothing else really going on for this game. So hopefully the PC version runs well. And when it does come out, I'll definitely let you guys know. And until then, there's not going to be much of any other news until they decide to post. But they should answer a little bit more questions and communicate a little bit more. And leave this game alone. If you guys already said last year that you guys are not going to bother fixing it, leave this game alone. No more seasonal updates. So that way the remake can get a lot of progress and things can get done instead of just adding more pressure and adding more to their plate than which they already decided to take on. And I wonder if it really is going to be true. Just to wrap up, is the PC version going to come out at the same time? Will they probably end up surprising us with the PC release, and then they'll say, and the PS4 remake will be available as well for us? But we'll just have to wait and see what happens.